need to be up at your full capacity. You need to be operating at your full potential, at your full prospect. That is the level you needed to be operating on. All right. So before I go further into the topic of the day, I'm just going to define what living is so that you'll be able to understand what we are actually talking about here today. All right. So living is the manner of life. You can say living practically is operating, how you operate. It can be walking, it can be functioning, how you function. It can be running. So when we say living, it means you are functioning in the fullness of your potential, or you are operating in the fullness of your potential. You can also say it is running in the fullness of your potential. When a vehicle is not operating at full capacity, you're going to take it to what? To a mechanic to fix. All right. You're going to take it to a mechanic to fix. So a lot of people are not actually living at full capacity. And you must be operating at your full capacity. The reason why you must be operating at your full capacity is because you are God's highest form of creation. You are God's highest form of creation. That's who you are. That's who you are. I want you to understand that. You are God's highest form of creation. So you must be living at that level, at that realm where the Almighty has put you. You must operate at that level. So what do we mean by fullness? We're talking about a state of absoluteness. We're talking about a state of completeness, a state of perfection or perfectness. We're talking about a state of wholeness, a state of entirety. You're talking about the quality or state of being full. That is the fullness that we're talking about. So you must operate at this level. Now, I'm going to define what potential is. What is potential? Potential is your capacity. Your potential is your prospect, is your possibility. I call it your latent energy. It's inherent, it's inborn. What you have inside of you, that is what your potential is, right? It's your ability that can be developed to help you become the person you want to be, to make you become successful. That is, it is potential. So I said you can become whoever you want to become. You can become whoever you want to become. You can become whoever you want to become because it is a fact. This is not only from Les Brown. It is a fact. There is greatness upon you. You are born with it. It is inherent inside you. There is greatness upon you. Every person that is given birth to, that is born on the earth, has a purpose. There's nobody that came to the world without a purpose. There's nobody that came to the world without a mandate. Every one of us, we have a mandate. We have a purpose while we were born. And that is why I love it whenever I'm on any Les Brown call. He said, there is greatness upon you because you are born with it. You are born with greatness. It's not something that you're going to develop. The Almighty did not create someone to be poor and someone to be rich. He created each and every one of us equal. He created each and every one of us equal, right? But why is it that some are well-to-do while some of them are not well-to-do? This is the reason why we're going to treat this topic today, all right? So I said, you see, every human being, we are like crude oil. We are like crude oil. You get what I'm saying? That is what every human being are. We're like crude oil. That's it. You see, you know that the crude oil itself has several components. When you actually refine the crude oil, you're going to find the petrol. I don't know what you guys call it in your part of the world. Here in Nigeria, we have the petrol, we have the kerosene, we have the diesel, we have the bitumen, and we have it in gas. All right. So we have several components of the crude oil. So every human being, we are like the crude oil. And you see, let me shock you. 1 barrel of crude oil, all right, contains 159 liters. That is, a barrel of crude oil is 159 liters. And as I'm talking to you currently, 1 barrel of crude oil is selling at above about $110 or so. A barrel of crude oil right now. $110 for a barrel of crude oil. Are we together? Now, when this crude oil is refined into its several components, all right, the petrol comes out, kerosene comes out, bitumen comes out, diesel comes out. Now, you will imagine the price of each constituent is bigger than the price of 159 liters of crude oil. It's bigger. It's bigger. Because you will imagine when now a petrol is refined, when you refine the petroleum, okay, you refine the petrol and you are now selling it outside. It brings out its own income. That is its own income. You refine the diesel. It brings, the diesel comes out, you start selling it, it brings out own income. Now you are making so much money from the crude, from a product that was brought together called crude. But when each of the parts are now separated, you are making so much money from it. That same thing, the same space, I just explained the crude oil. We human beings are just like that. We are like crude oil. This is because everything you need to become successful has been deposited inside you. You need it. All the paraphernalia, everything you need to become successful has been deposited inside of you. Remember when I was starting, I said you are God's highest form of creation. So if God is the creator and you are his highest form of creation, he wants you to also be a creator yourself. He wants you to be in a space that you yourself can create. So when God, the Almighty, created you, he didn't create you in order to just live in void. No, he didn't create you for emptiness. He created you for a purpose. He created you in order for you to be a solution to the world. You are a solution to the world race, to the human race. You are a solution. You are a problem solver. You are not just here to occupy space. You are not a matter. Are you with me? You are not a matter. You are not here to occupy space. You are called in here to solve a problem, to actually be a voice to the world. You are not an echo. Let me put it that way. You are not an echo. You are a voice to this generation. And for you to actually become who you are sent to the world to do, you must know who you are. You must know who you are. So the question is, who are you? Who are you? That's the question you should ask yourself. Who am I? Who am I? So you should ask yourself this question. You are destined to be whatever you want to be. Everything you need to become who you want to be is inside of you. You must wake up and develop it. You must refine your God-given inherent potential. You must develop it. Nobody will develop it for you but you. And that is why I love the law of awareness. You see, two factors are stopping you actually from living to your full potential. Two factors, all right? Two factors. The number one factor is lack of awareness. Is a lack of awareness. You know, when you don't know who you are, you won't be able to do anything about yourself. And that's why the law of awareness states something. It states that you must know yourself for you to grow yourself. That's the law of awareness. Okay? You must know yourself for you to grow yourself. Know yourself so that you can grow yourself. See, What that means is that in order for you to achieve growth and live in full potential, okay, you must hone in on who you are and what you desire to do. You must know yourself in order for you to grow yourself. Know yourself. What's my purpose? All right? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? I tell you that, you see, if you don't know where you are going, speed is useless. So that we say speed is useless without direction. Speed is useless without direction. And direction is useless without destination. I'm going to repeat it. Speed is useless without direction. Direction is nothing without destination. You must be aware, this is me. I'm going from point A to point B. I'm going from point B to point C. I'm going from point C to point D. Are you aware of who you are? Are you aware of why you are here, your purpose? Are you aware of the significance of the opportunity you have in your hand right now? The law of awareness. You need to be aware. Take that conscious effort to be aware of who you are. That is what you need to do. Be aware. Be aware of yourself. All right? Be aware. And there are three kinds of people when it comes to direction and becoming aware of who you are. There are three types of people. The number one type of people are people who don't know what they would like to do. They don't even know what they would like to do. You get it? They don't really know what they would like to do. They are just here. They are just like Methuselah. The only record we have about him, he lived over 850 something years or 950 something years, and he died. No record of achievement, nothing more. He lived and he died. People who don't know what they would like to do. And the second type of people is people who know what they like to do, but they don't do it. Sorry about that. The internet threw me out. If you can hear me, please put 100 into the chat box. If you can hear me now, let me put 100 into the chat box. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, guys. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you. All right. So I'm talking about you being aware of yourself in order for you to live to your full potential, to your highest form of calling, to your highest form of purpose, living to your full potential. Be aware of yourself. See, if someone is to drive a Ferrari and someone is given a Volkswagen and they tell the person driving a Ferrari guy, we have given you the key to this Ferrari. The highest this Ferrari can go is 100. All right. The highest Ferrari can go maybe is 100 kilometers per hour. And they are giving another person a Volkswagen or something. And they tell him this car, Volkswagen, will go as far as 140 kilometers to 200 kilometers per hour. Now, if you don't, you see, the person who understands, the Volkswagen guy understand that I can go 200 kilometers per hour. The Ferrari has the potential of driving faster than that, but he's not aware, because what he was only aware of is that the Ferrari can do 100 kilometers per hour. So we only drive it based on the capacity that he's aware of. He's not aware that he's driving a sport car. So your awareness of who you are is based on what you know about yourself. Your awareness of who you are is based on what you know about yourself. What do you carry inside of you? What you have inside of you. So there are 2 great days in a person's life. 2 great days in a person's life. The number 1 day is the day you are born. 2 great days in a person's life. The first day is the day you were born. The day you were born. I see my chat blinking. Yes, just speed. 3 categories of people. I've mentioned it. The number 1 people is, I said, people who don't know what they would like to do. People who don't know what they would like to do. The second category are people who know what they would like to do, but don't do it. And the third are people who know what they would like to do, and they are doing it. They are doing it every single time. All right. Those are the 3 categories of people we are when it comes to direction. All right. Those are the 3 categories of people. Now I'm talking about the 2 great days in the life of a person. The day you were born is your number 1 greatest day. Everybody is happy. Everybody is joyous. Everybody is so happy that you have come to the world. The second great day in your life is the day you understand and you know your why. The day you know why you were here. The day you know why you were born. That is your second great day. You need to live in your full potential. You need to operate at your best capacity. You need to operate at the highest form of capacity that you are created to be. Remember, I said there are 2 factors that is actually stopping you from living to full capacity. Number 1 is lack of awareness. Lack of awareness. You really don't know who you are. You don't know your purpose. You don't know your calling. You don't know the reason why you were here. The second reason, the second factor that is stopping you from living your purpose is ignorance. That's why the Holy Book says something. Say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Ignorance. So what is ignorance? Ignorance is a lack of knowledge or information. A lack of knowledge or information. That's what ignorance is. Now, you see, when you lack knowledge, when you lack understanding, you operate at a level of worry and doubt. Ignorance breeds worry and doubt. You live in worry. You live in doubt all the time because you don't know. You don't really know. So you live in worry, you live in doubt. Now, when you live in worry and you live in doubt, it brings fear into you. It brings fear into you and subject you to living in anxiety. I'm telling you what ignorance does to people. All right? An ignorant person lives always his life in worry and doubt. Now, when you live in worry and doubt, it brings fear. It brings what? Fear. Now, that fear subjects you to living in anxiety. All right. It subjects you to living in anxiety. Now, this anxiety suppresses your reasoning capability and brings you into depression because you're already living in anxiety simply because you don't know, you lack understanding, you lack knowledge, you are living in ignorance. So your anxiety suppresses your reasoning ability and it brings you to a level of depression. And at the level of depression, disease sets in and disintegration set in. People who are ignorant, you see, when you live in ignorance, you'll be living a timid kind of lifestyle. You'll be living timid because you will not be confident. An ignorant person will live in a state of inconfidence because you not feel confident about yourself. In fact, you'll be shy of facing people because what? You are ignorant, you are empty, so that when people listen to you, they will say, oh man, it's not saying something reasonable, it's not saying something sensible. So to live in the fullness of your potential, you must develop your mental being, your mental reasoning. You must develop your mental reasoning. See, one of the reasons for poverty is ignorance. One of the key factors why people are poor in our world today is basically because of what? Ignorance. Because they don't know. So because they don't know, they live in worry and doubt. Their worry leads to fear. The fear brings anxiety. The anxiety, suppresses their thinking and reasoning capability and brings them into a state of depression. And at a state of depression, disease starts setting. Are we together? So, in order for you to live in full potential, you must develop your mental being. I say faith based on understanding is key to freedom. You can have faith, but you can be expressing your faith in ignorance. Yes. You can be saying, oh, I have faith like a mustard seed. You can be expressing your faith in ignorance. There are stupid faith. You must express any faith based on understanding. Don't just express any faith anyhow. Faith must be expressed in understanding. Imagine some time ago, when I was much younger, our generating machine, our power generating machine has an issue in our place of worship. And someone was saying, come on, let's pray on the generator so that it can start working. I believe in the power of faith. I believe in prayer, but I didn't believe in stupid prayer. I don't believe in faith that lacks no understanding. Because we saw what's happened to the generating plant, and we know that this is practically mechanical work. What we need to do is to call a mechanic that will fix the generator, and the generator will work. It's not about prayer. It's not about having faith that the generating plant will work. That is stupid faith. And that's why I say faith based on understanding is key to freedom. Is key to freedom. The question is, how do you get understanding? How do you get understanding? You get it in a place of study. And I love it, Madam Jenny do anchor this Thursday session. And she always gives us book review. That is a place for us to actually review book and study. So you get understanding through study. And that is why the greatest of kings in the world, Solomon, he said, in all thy getting, get understanding. Seek for knowledge every single time to develop your capacity. You see, for you to be useful, for you to be used, You will only be used based on the strength of your capacity. You will only be used based on the strength of your capacity, based on your level, based on your strength. That is the level with which you're going to operate. All right? And that is why I love the book of Proverbs. Apologies for everybody who is not, I just apologize for quoting the word of God here. I just love this part of the book. It's Proverbs chapter 25, verse 2. It says, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. So you are supposed to be a king. When the Almighty created things, he concealed them, he hides them. So when God created Adam, he did not create the table and the chair for Adam. Adam has to use his creation, his creating being, his faculty to bring out the table and the chair from the tree. That is it. God concealed the table and the chair inside the tree. Everything we are using to do, the technology that we have today is being concealed by the Almighty. And it is kings, people who are king in their thinking, people who are king in their research process, people who are king in their mental faculty. They research, they find out, and they are able to discover all the technology that we are using today. Everything has already been put in place by the Almighty at the beginning of creation. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings to search out a matter. So it is your job to search out a matter, what you are meant to do, your purpose, to fulfill it. What you are meant to do. That's who you are. So I said to you people, the second factor that can inhibit you from living your life of purpose, that second factor is simply a lack of knowledge. A lack of knowledge. A lack of knowledge. You see, knowledge gives you confidence. Knowledge gives you confidence because you are operating in understanding. Now, understanding, when you operate in understanding, it brings about faith. I'm going to repeat myself. Knowledge gives you confidence because now you know. Okay? Now, the confidence comes about because you are now operating in understanding, which leads to faith. Which leads to faith. Which leads to faith. So what I say is, you see, what you believe, what you have faith in, what you believe, okay, you become. What you believe, you become. What you observe, you manifest. What you believe, you become. What you observe, you manifest. You manifest. So knowledge makes you to be at ease. When you have knowledge, when you are knowledgeable about a subject, when you are knowledgeable about yourself, about your being, when you know yourself inside out, it makes you to be at ease. It is at this state of ease that you can create and operate at your full capacity. There is nobody that can operate at full capacity in ignorance. It's not possible. The richest and the wealthiest people on earth, they are operating at their full potential, their full capacity based on the knowledge level they have. Based on the knowledge level they have. Okay? Based on the knowledge level they have. Are you operating at your full capacity? What is the level of knowledge you have about what you do? What is the level of knowledge you have about yourself? Even the business that we're doing right now, how knowledgeable are you about it? In order to be above average in Omega Pro as a business, you have to know the business inside out. When they wake you up in the morning, you can talk about it. When they talk about it in the afternoon, you too, you can talk about it. You can talk about it like ABC. Knowledge is key to you living life at full. You see, when somebody once said something, he said, when they say somebody's useless, do you know what that means? Useless. I say, is that not an abusive word? To be useless is not really abusive, you know. When they say somebody is useless, it means the person is being useless. It's not being used to full potential. The person is being used lesser than his capacity. It means that, oh, I expect more from you. You are operating at a lesser capacity than my expectation. That's what useless is. So they are using you less than your capacity. They are using you less than your potential. And when they say somebody is useful, it means the person is operating at full potential. You get what I'm saying? That's practically what you should understand. That you must actually operate at full length, at full capacity, based on the level of knowledge that you have. In all that getting, get understanding. Soak yourself, search for knowledge, seek for it everywhere. That's my message to you this morning. Seek for knowledge everywhere, search for it everywhere. You cannot be empty and be useful. You cannot be empty and be useful. So you need to load up yourself. And that is why your personal development is your responsibility. See, Omega Pro is here today. After Omega Pro, what next? That's the question I should ask you. After Omega Pro, what next? What next? So it's not about you. Oh, I'm a champion in Omega Pro. So what? After Omega Pro, what next? How have you used Omega Pro as a system to develop yourself? How have you used Omega Pro as a system, the money you're making from Omega Pro to actually develop, to personally develop your person, your personality? 2 days ago, I was researching a particular subject. And when I was researching a subject, a mentor of mine sent me a message on something, and I look at it, and that message lead me to somewhere, a leadership course. And I look at it, I say, wow, this is a leadership course I've been waiting for. It's a life coaching program. I said, okay, I'm going to subscribe for it. By the time I found out the price a few days ago, it told me this course is actually $5,000. $5,000. $5,000. And I said, okay, all in, I'm game. I'm going to go for this course. And what did I do? I have to pay for it because I know it's my own personal development that I'm looking out for. It's not about anything. You need to develop yourself. There are several personal development programs out there that you need to sort out and develop your being, develop your mindset. There's got to be that paradigm shift from where you are from level A to another level, your altitude. They say your attitude will determine your altitude. What is your attitude? What is your attitude? What is your attitude? Get it tonight. I want you to have a date today with knowledge so that you can be pregnant with understanding. Where, have a date with knowledge so that you can be pregnant with understanding. And when you have understanding, you're going to give back to wisdom. The world will be at your feet, ladies and gentlemen. The world will be at your feet. Right. So as you're making money in Omega Pro, as you're going about building your business, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to make your personal development your own personal goal. Develop your mental being, your capacity. Develop yourself inside out. Put yourself in the place of study. Study, study, study. And I love this Bible verse in our final call, 2 Timothy 2, verse 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto God. That means there's a place of study. Study to show thyself approved unto God. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not be ashamed. That means if you don't study, you're going to be a workman that will be ashamed. So if you study, you're going to be a workman that needed not to be ashamed. That's what it means. So if you study to show yourself approved, you are not going to be ashamed. But if you don't study, all right, you're going to be a workman ashamed because you're not going to have the confidence to even face the people. You have nothing here to share. He says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that is not ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. When you study, that is when you'll be able to speak out the truth. In the place of study, there are secrets that will be unveiled unto you. There are mystery that will be unveiled unto you. There are things that you are going to be revealed unto you in the place of study that nobody will tell you. See, the school system will not tell you about the secret of the world. It is in the place of study, your personal study room, that is where you're going to understand the secret of the world yourself. Study to show thyself approved, a workman that needed not to be ashamed. Not to be ashamed. There's great value in study. There's great value in you knowing. And I want you to leave this place today to make that decision that after Omega Pro, it's me. I love what Mr. Tomiwa normally teaches every Tuesday. He says your personal brand is you. You must brand yourself. Be your own brand. See, Omega Pro is our vehicle. We love it. We enjoying it. We are making money from it. All right? But you, Omega Pro is a vehicle. You are the driver. The vehicle will not drive itself. It is the driver that will drive the vehicle to wherever it wants to go. So you have the wheel in your hands. You are controlling the vehicle to where you want to go. Are we together? You are the driver of this vehicle. The question is, what type of license do you carry to drive this vehicle? What type of license do you have to drive this vehicle? There are 3 levels or 5 levels of expertise. When it comes to you becoming a leader in any venture, about 5 levels. The first level is the level of a beginner. The level of a beginner. As you're coming to the business venture, you've not had anything about network marketing. This is your first time. You are a beginner. You have the consciousness that you are just starting out. That's number 1 level. The second level is this level of a novice. The level of a novice. You have this consciousness that you know nothing about this business and you are ready to learn. The level of a novice. And as you are learning, you are studying. You are getting things together. You are studying. And the third level is the level of what? Of competence. The level of competence. At the level of competence, you now know you're operating because you know a little about what you needed to do to take your business to the level, what you needed to do to live at your highest level of potential. Because you now know. The fourth level is the level of expertise. Now, when you are at the level of expertise, you're operating above the law. Because you are an expert in this business. You are an expert in the profession. And when you are an expert in the profession, for you to go into the next level, you have to master the art. And the 5th level is the level of mastery. Now you've mastered it. So if after Omega Pro, you are able to repeat what you do, and you are able to smash the rank and go to the highest rank, you have mastered the process. 5 grade levels you must understand. Beginner levels, novice level, competence level, expert level, and mastery level. You must understand all these 5 levels. And for you to understand all these 5 levels and attain mastery, It is in the place of study, of research, learning from those people who are ahead of you. From those people who are what? Who are way ahead of you. Our time is fast spent. I'm not going to be able to finish what I prepared for us. Let me just stop here. And because of our time, all right. So what you need to do today, please go all out. Don't just stop at building your business. Build your business based on understanding. Build your business based on knowledge. And I want to say, the sky will be your starting point. All right. When you're operating at a place of knowledge, people will listen to you. See, if somebody is before you trying to pitch you for a business, and when the person is talking, the person is stammering. The person is saying, I think what Omega Pro is talking about is that they are going to pray 0 points. I forgot. You're not going to buy because the person is not confident, because the person doesn't know the business. All right. Because the person doesn't know the business. I'm not going to buy a product for somebody who doesn't understand the business. I'm not going to buy. But when you approach someone, you know, I was in a meeting with someone yesterday, and they said, okay, Mr. Gideon, I want you to meet with our director. And I walk into the office, and you know, with my shoulders straight, my head high, I walk there. Yes, practically our business is Omega Pro, and this is what we do. I was bold. I wasn't afraid that I'm speaking to a director, and so what? This is because of the confidence I have in the business. I'm knowledgeable about the business that I'm presenting. So if you're not knowledgeable about the business, you're going about stammering, then you're not going to see anybody who's going to buy your business. In the act of marketing, you need to know your product. You need to know what you sell. And in the place of knowing is that you get every information right. Know the information, know the business. Not for you to come on Zoom call and be saying, I think. There's nothing like I think. If you're not sure, then shut up and go and sit down. Then you're not supposed to be telling us about this business. Know your business very well. Know your business very well. Know your business very well. You must gain the understanding. You must gain the knowledge. You must gain the insight that needed to be gotten so that you can get to the highest level. Living above you, living at full potential is you operating at the level of a God. Somebody did not get that. Living at your full potential is you operating at the level of a God. The scripture says, don't you know that you are like gods? You are a God. And because you are a God, that is why when God created everything on the 6th day, he put the other creation process in your hand. He put it in my hand that I should continue with creation. So you and I are supposed to create things. We are creators ourselves. So if you want to live at your highest level of potential, you should operate like a small God. You should operate. Start creating. Start creating. That's who you are. That's your potential. Operate at that level. That's where you are meant to be. Because if you are not operating at that realm, you are not living in full potential. You are not living to the fullest. You're not living to the fullest. They're not living to the fullest. There are many people who want to live their life. There are many people who want to live their life, but they can't. They are limited in their thinking. They have so much inside of them. There are songs that they have written, they did not go to, they don't have the strength and the capacity to go to the studio and record. They have books that they want to write, but they don't have the strength and the capacity to write it. And they die with everything inside of them. They died with it. Are there not songs written that are now in the mortuary? Are there not great books that should be written and are now buried? Don't leave this world without you living to your full potential. If you need to write a book, start writing it today. If you have a song that you need to bring out for the world to listen to, please go to the studio and do your recording now. Don't let anybody stop you. You have greatness inside of you. See, do not allow another person's opinion to become your reality. You have the fullness of God inside of you. Live according to that potential. Other people's opinion does not count. What counts is what you think about yourself. That's what I'm saying to you. Other people's opinion about you does not count. What do you think about yourself? Go all out. Fulfill that potential. Fulfill that potential. You have a book to write. Come on, start writing that book. You have a song you want to read. Come on, release that song. You have a store. You have a store that you want to open. Come on, you got to open that store. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, that store is not going to make profit. Do they have a crystal ball to tell you that it's not going to make profit? Come on. Come on. You can live to the fullness of a potential, but you cannot give the room to anybody who is negative to stop you. You cannot give that room. You cannot give that room. As you are building your Omega Pro business, there are going to be naysayers. Naysayers will come to you. Oh, Omega Pro, we have seen it for 3 years and we are still here today. We're going to be here for the next 5 years. We're going to be here for the next 10 years. I have that faith. Naysayers will always tell you negativity. I put them aside. I say, no, you know what? I know where I'm going to, and my eyes is focused there. You can stop me. You can inhibit me from achieving my goal. If you have negative attitude, if you have a negative mindset, let your negativity remain with you and your family. If you want to remain abject poverty, come on, remain there because you lack knowledge. See, lack of knowledge begat poverty. When you don't have knowledge, you live in poverty. And when they share information with you that can transform your life, you argue with facts based on your own ignorance. You argue with facts, figures, things that is working for people. You are arguing with it because of your ignorance, and you are not ready to shift. You are not ready to shift. You are not ready to shift. Come on, wake up. Thank God this is wake up and win. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Wake up. It's time to win. It's time to conquer. It's time to go all out and become who you are destined to become. All right. There are 3 levels of knowledge, finally, that I'm going to say you should always look out for. The first level is the level of revelational knowledge. The level of revelational knowledge. That is when the knowledge you get from the Word of God, the knowledge you get from reading the scripture. That is the first level of knowledge. The knowledge you get from reading the scriptures, from the Word of God. That is the first level, the revelational knowledge. And this knowledge is key. You see, there are things I read in the scripture. I say, wow, this cannot be gotten anywhere. It can only be gotten from this secret, because the book is a secret. It's full of secret, ladies and gentlemen. Full of secrets. And if you don't have the knowledge to study it painstakingly, you won't understand it. Revelational knowledge. And the second knowledge you should take note of is theoretical knowledge. The theoretical knowledge is based on your research, on you doing strategy, thinking. You have a mastermind session with your team and you are reasoning together. You know, you form a mastermind group and you are, no, this is how we should go about it. That is what we call what? Theoretical. You are bringing the strategy into play. Theoretical knowledge. And the third level is what? Experiential knowledge. At the level of experiential knowledge is you now following a mentor. Now I have Tomiwa. I'm following Tomiwa because he knows what I don't know in the aspect of network marketing. And I'm trying to gain the knowledge that he knows in the aspect of network marketing. That's what we call what? Experiential knowledge. Because now you're working with a mentor. Someone who has gotten to a place that you have not gotten to. Someone who has gotten to a place that you want to get to. You follow the person bumper to fender. Let me put it that way. Or fender to bumper, anyone you want. Experiential knowledge. So you cannot attain any level of success in life if you do not have a mentor. The question is, who is your mentor? Who are you following? Who is guiding you? You need a mentor in life to guide you, because if you don't have a mentor, a lot of pitfalls are there. You're going to be falling. You're going to be falling all the time. So in order for you not to fall and stagger and fall out, follow a mentor. Look for someone who will achieve what you are trying to achieve and follow that person so that you can attain the height you want to attain. I celebrate every one of you. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I really, really appreciate the time we spent together. We have spent close to an hour. God bless every one of you. In the place of announcement, I just want to ask if my leader, Mr. Tommy, would be any closing words, or Madam Jenny? Any closing from you, sir? In the place of announcement, let me just tell us that today, Thursday, we have our 3 p.m. call. Our 3 p.m. call still holds 3 p.m. Okay, sorry. Let me see if I can unmute. Okay, now. All right, you can. I think you can unmute yourself now.
You can close the session, Diamond Gideon. You can close the session, yeah.
Oh, all right, sir. All right, sir.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. We really enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. All right, 3 p.m. we have our afternoon financial hangout. 3 p.m. West African time. Do not forget to join. And later tonight, 7 p.m. West African time, our leader, Black Diamond, going to presidential, will actually be taking us through another session by 7 p.m. West African time tonight. So make it a point of duty to join us on those calls. I wish you all the best of the day, the best of the best of the day. Go all out and win. The world is at your feet. Bye-bye.